mystery gang, welcome back to episode I don't even fucking know at this point of Paranormal Chat. And today I am joined by the lovely The Village Tarot Witch. We're just gonna talk about some spooky shit for a little bit. So I'd like you to introduce yourself, brag a little bit about what you do.
Brag. I can do that. Hi, hello. My name is Carly. I am the Village Tarot Witch on Instagram and YouTube. I haven't done anything on YouTube in like a fucking while. So, it's been a hot minute. YouTube, TikTok, all the places. The Village Tarot Witch. I'm a tarot reader and I use tarot for mediumship or on ghost hunts. Same thing, but at home or physically there. So that was the same thing twice, but
How did you get into the paranormal world and doing all of this?
Yeah. So the house that I live in is occasionally haunted. I think that the property that I live on backs up to a trail that was used during the Seminole Wars. If I could be wrong about that, but it's like if you look at the map and you imagine where my house is, it's pretty close, which would explain the just comings and goings, because it's not just one resident house ghost, it's a bunch coming in and out. So that got my interest moving here. But what really got me into it is I slipped on a bit of milk and broke my foot. And, I spent like 6 weeks in a boot in spooky season. And what is one to do if you can't walk around? You binge watch ghost hunting shows. So sitting there, I can't move. I'm just watching. I was like, the fuck? Why are they describing my life to me right now? They were talking about like the way it feels when you're being watched by a ghost. And I was like, you mean to tell me that this time it might not be anxiety? There could actually be someone looking at me. So I'm putting all these pieces together, and then on Instagram, his account is Ghost Hunter of South Florida, did a collaboration with a different tarot reader, and they put out a spread and just was like, hey, I'm going to a ghost hunt, try this out, see if you can find any information. And I was like, you know what? I will. So I tried it. It was fairly accurate for a first go. And after that, I just started asking anytime I'd have experiences. And then I started working with Eric and his team. So exposure. It's my introduction to the paranormal.
So you say that your house is occasionally haunted. What are some of the things that have happened?
So I don't have any of the dramatic, I haven't had anything move. I have one cool story where I saw something, but for the most part, it's like me waking up in the middle of the night and I'm like, someone's standing by my bed, and I look around and there's no, actual person. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go back to sleep. But it's just my son's room and a few other rooms in the house have a slightly different energy. And I don't know why, but they really like to hang out in those areas of the house. They'll come in, hang out for a while. Every once in a while, one wants to stay. And if I don't notice it right away, then, I have to do something about it.
So I didn't ask this question yet, but do you believe in the paranormal?
I do, yes.
I'm still just waiting for that one person to be like, no, I don't. I think this is all stupid. I don't know why I'm here.
I do. I feel like I'm a lot more logic-based. I didn't always believe in the paranormal, but I feel like once you've had certain experiences, it's harder to talk yourself out of it. So pretty much any experience I have a running list. I'm like, okay, for sure wasn't this, for sure wasn't that. That leaves ghost. And so I don't know. I try to stay more level-headed, but also I like ghosts and I like to talk to them.
Sometimes something will happen to me and I'll instantly be like, oh, it's a ghost. And then Tyler's like, it's not a ghost. You're wrong.
It would be fun if it was always a ghost. Then it's like unexplained sound, or I don't know. I'd like to blame bad days on ghosts. Just be like, excuse you, ghosts, ruining my day like that.
It's all their fault.
Abby's response to everything is it's a ghost, and my response is I'll check off every other possibility first.
That's what I do too.
We'll go through every single possibility, and then there's only been like one time where he's been like, I actually don't know what that is, so.
That's when it's the most fun though, is you're like, fine. Like logic can't explain this, so what's happening?
So on your Instagram, you do, well, for one, you have too many fucking scammers.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. They're really bad.
Adding me all the time. So if you go to her Instagram, be careful and follow the right one, okay? I will have it linked down below. Down below is hers.
My username is thevillagetarotwitch. It's spelled like it should. Any extra letters, numbers, or underscores, and it's not me. They've been getting real clever recently with just changing one letter, like an extra L or an extra I. But yeah, I put my name on everything that I do, literally everything. And then it's a big problem. Yeah.
So you do this like one thing on Instagram that I have absolutely no idea. It's like with your little chalkboard, and it's like the coolest thing ever. I would just like you to explain a little bit about it, because I love watching those.
Which one? I do a lot with the chalkboard, just like in general.
Just in general.
So I use a chalkboard for most of my readings, even the mediumship ones. I don't always post that one if I'm doing it live, but usually my chalkboard will be underneath me. And it's partly because I'm a visual person, and I'm also just hella fucking ADHD. So like, I need to write things down as I go so that I can reference it later. So not all of them anymore, because I've gotten better at it. But in the beginning, I would outline the cards, and I would make a little note of what I thought about the card and then move on. And at the end, I kind of tie the whole thing together. They do a lot of different types of readings. I have bone throwing and runes. I haven't done either one of those for a little while, but yeah, I put all of my readings on boards. And I think I've been told this by other people, that the way that I present them helps to break it down for them a little bit, or at least give a visual to the way that I see it. So I like it.
The bone throwing. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because I've seen quite a few people do that, and I have no idea what the meaning, I don't know.
It's really cool. It took me a really long time to learn. I bought a kit from a friend of mine, and so she assigned meanings to the bones for me. So when I do it, I have a spiral on my chalkboard, and in the middle it says core lesson, and then the spirals will go out, and there's different categories. So I read it based on, if a bone falls in a particular category, then that's what it's talking about. But I follow people that just toss that shit like on a rug or in a box, and they're like, this is what it means. And I say, how though?
Exactly.
I don't understand that. I need it broken down for me a little bit. It's really neat though. It's a lot different than reading tarot, because it's like a different language. It's like you're talking to an animal instead of a human, is the closest, the easiest description.
It reminds me of like, there's ghost dice with like a yes or no, and then like letters, and then like you just toss them, and then it's supposed to make a word. And it reminds me so much of that. And the first time I saw somebody do it, I had no idea what the hell was going on. And I was like, I want those. And I still haven't got any. I think they're called like spirit dice is the actual name.
That's funny. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was doing just a reading for fun with a friend of mine. We were asking about a haunted case, average Wednesday night things. And I was like, you know what would be really helpful is one of those dice, because I've hit a wall at this point. I can't go really any farther with the cards right now. But if I had those dice and could just throw them out there, or just shake a box of Scrabble tiles and fling them into what do you want to say?
We have Scrabble right there, and now I'm gonna be like, maybe I should bring those next time.
Ghosts and Scrabble. Just get one of each letter, I feel like. I don't know. That could be, I don't know. It would be fun.
Your ghost hunting. I know that you've been on a few investigations since I've started following you. What was your most favorite one?
So I have two, I don't know, I love them all, but my two most memorable were going to the Devil's Tree in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I went there with Joe Hunts Ghosts on Instagram and YouTube. And that one was just like scary. That's the first time I've been scared on a ghost hunt, because usually I'm just like hyper and kind of like excited to be there. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm going to talk to some ghosts tonight. Let's do it. And I like putting the pieces of their stories together. So there's not really a ton of fear for me. So I went there and I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to be fun. And as soon as we got to the tree, I was like, I have immediately changed my mind. I have regrets. This place is very scary. I don't like it here. But more recently, I went to West Virginia. I went to it was called Cryptid Bash, put on by the Moth Boys podcast. It was a lot of fun. But the place that was hosting it, I ended up talking to her. I don't know. I got introduced to this camera guy, and he was like, did you know this place is haunted? I was like, no, sure didn't. So we talked to the owner and went back for a ghost hunt that night, and it was really, really cool. That one wasn't spooky, but I don't know, it thrills me a little bit when I make like ghosts who deserve it. Like this guy 100% deserved it. I don't yell at nice ghosts, but like this guy was just the worst. He killed the girl, first of all. So I feel like that gives me right, but he kept cutting me off. Like every time I would open my mouth to talk, his voice would come over the speaker, and I was like, will you stop it? Getting to that level of frustration and being like, stop, let me speak was, I don't know, that was fun for me.
That would have made me so mad. I probably would have blown up.
I'm pretty sure I called him a bitch and threatened to fight him at one point. Like, real people, I would never. I'm so scared of real people. But like, I don't know, you're already super fucking dead. So
like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Haunt me? Cool. That already happens to me. So bring it.
I've seen the Devil's Tree on TikTok. And I'm like, I need to go there. Like, I need to go there. And then I like hear stories from people that went, and I'm like, I still want to go there, but now I'm kind of scared to go there.
Yeah, and I will say that was the weirdest things happened there too, because I mean, like I said, I am pretty skeptical, and I do go into most situations not like I heard stories and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see. So the guys I was with told me that anytime you would say the name of the man, the serial killer, Gerard John Schaefer, that there'd be like a gust of wind through the trees. And I was like, okay. But when we were there, I genuinely could not remember his name. We hadn't made it to the tree yet. We're just like walking through the woods and chatting, testing out devices. And I kept being like, what's this guy's name again? Or like talking about what I knew about him. What's his name again? And every time it really would, a strong breeze would just kind of gush in like a circular motion around us, which was insane because I was like, okay. And then I started analyzing it, and I was like, is this happening regularly when we're not saying the name? We're out there for a few hours, and every single time his name was said, the trees around reacted. It was so bizarre. I like trees. I like to touch trees, like, happy trees or whatnot. And I was afraid of the Devil's Tree. I didn't want to get too close to it. I actually stayed with like a few feet back from it. And the longer we were there, I kept taking steps back to be farther away from it. It's the strangest, it's a very intense energy. I'm sorry, my dog's mad.
Like, yeah, trees have energy, and some of them just give you such bad vibes, and you're like, oh.
This was definitely one. This was like, yeah, I normally with my cards, I'll like sit in the dirt or like wherever, and I'll just be sprawled out with the cards everywhere. when we were next to the tree, I was squatting because I didn't want to like physically touch the dirt there. And I was like, this is strange for me. I've been to enough locations that I just don't really care where we are. Let me talk to the ghost. That's what I'm here for, except for that place.
That gives me chills just talking about it. 'Cause like,
it was a lot. It was fun, but it was scary.
So out of like all the haunted places in the world, what would be the one that you would want to go to the most and just see what the hell is up there?
In the world, since you specified in the world, I have a different answer for America, but in the world, I really want to go to Hever Castle in England because I am in fact a giant nerd, and I love the Tudors and Tudor history, and that is where Anne Boleyn grew up, and she's supposed to haunt it. So I want to go there just to see if I could talk to her.
I have an obsession with castles in Ireland and Scotland because like my family's from Ireland, so I really want to go to like the castles where my ancestors were devil worshippers and being fucking satanic, and I want to go there and like feel the energy because it was on Ghost Adventures, and I'm like, I need to go.
I just want to know what it's like, you know? Fuck around and find out. I like that.
Exactly. That's what I always say. I'm always just like, fuck around and find out, and he's made it his life mission to keep me alive at all costs, because if it wasn't for him, I would be dead by now.
It's a good mission. I like a bit of both. I like calculated risks, but I feel like with ghosts, I'm more willing to be like, yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So in America, what would be the place you want to go to?
America, I really, and this is like an easily accessible one. It's just, I haven't had the chance to travel. I really want to go to the Lizzie Borden house, like more than any other place, because I've had a lifelong fascination with her. I just want to go. I know that the house is active. I watch other ghost hunters go and stay the night there. I need to know what it's like. That's my number one.
And energy there is probably so crazy. Like I've seen people go and like something always happens no matter what. Like there's never a night where it's just dead.
I know. I just think that would be really, really cool. It'd be spooky, but I like a good spook.
They do like guided tours and then ones where you can just stay overnight, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I was mixing that up with the Winchester house for a minute because I know that they only do like guided tours now or something.
I would love to do the Winchester house too, but I did hear that they weren't letting, I don't know, maybe they do ghosts.
I have no idea because I heard from one person that they don't do like overnight stays, ghost hunts by yourself, but they will do like guided tours at night.
Okay.
But I've also heard that the place isn't really even that haunted, but it's haunted, but not haunted in the way that you think it's haunted.
Not in the way that, well, I mean, I feel like it's more that place is just like a good story. So you would expect it to be haunted, but like.
And the house is just beautiful.
It is. I want to go there sometime just to see the staircase that leads to nowhere. The dead ends, the staircases. Yeah.
Those always remind me of the stairs. Have you ever heard of the stairs in the woods that just go up to nowhere?
I've seen those.
Have you seen them in real life?
No, I wish. I'd go up them. That's probably how I would die.
That's what he would do. I would just stand there and look, and Tyler would be like, ooh, I'm gonna walk up these, and then he'll like die, and I'll be like, what do I do now?
That's how you go onto another plane of existence, I guess.
Like there's a state park here, and we'll be like walking through like the trails. We haven't in a long time, but I've always been like, I kind of want to see them in real life. But at the same time, I've heard like these absolute horror stories of, like people have lost limbs when they walk on them. So
really things. Yeah, I'd still go up there.
I also want to know, why the hell are there stairs in the middle of nowhere, and why do people die when they touch them?
Who put them there and why? Because you think that if there's a staircase, then there should be a foundation or other remains of a house somewhere, and if the rest of the house is gone, how is the staircase still intact? Sorry.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
Oh, fun question. Ted Bundy. And I think that he's just the first one that I knew. I feel like he's cliche, so I feel like I should have a different one. You know what I mean? But I know the most about Ted Bundy, so I'm gonna go with Ted. Ted and his crooked teeth.
There's a guy here. He's not a serial killer. He was a serial rapist. He was the first serial rapist in Peoria, and he went and raped and murdered a girl. And like the Springdale Cemetery, it wasn't built yet, and so he left her in a stream. And when they found her, they like drug her up and buried her right there. And they put like a gazebo there, so they call her like the Lady in White. And so like that would be my favorite, because even though he's not a serial killer, but like,
I mean, I feel like it counts. I like H.H. Holmes a lot too.
I don't know who that is.
He had.
Oh shit.
And he was basically a con man, but then he learned that he could kill people effectively and take their money. So he had a hotel that he had rigged with like booby traps, and he had like built gas chambers. He did all sorts of awful things, and basically he was killing them to gain control of their finances. So elaborate con man turned murder.
Some Al Capone shit. At Bachelor's Grove, it's a cemetery near Chicago. It was alleged that him and his gang dumped some bodies by the sewer thing there. Like there were shit ponds there, and we walked over by there, and the energy was just, whew, like it was crazy. I did not like it.
Has ties to my little corner of Florida. I live in Titusville, Florida, and I can say that because I'm moving. But I live in Titusville, Florida, and there's a house here that belonged to him, and there is a hotel like a street over with pictures of him, and there was a like garage next door where his, what do you call them? His like goons, but they had a name. I don't remember right now, but they would work in the garage. They lived in the shop over the garage, and apparently there used to be a tunnel system that's been documented, but it's been filled in with cement now, that they would use to like run booze or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what they used it for, but I really wish I could have gotten in there into that house.
I saw this fact on Facebook a while ago. I don't know if it's true or not, but it said like the average person will walk by 10 serial killers in their lifetime.
Saw that too, yeah.
So the rate of serial killers is 1 in 5,000 people. So if you see 5,000 people, one of them's a serial killer, most likely.
That's a terrifying fact. It means anytime you go to Disney World, someone at Disney World with you is a serial killer.
At least one person at my work is a serial killer, because there's just over 5,000 people.
It's probably you.
No.
I would profile them. Who is it? I watch a lot of Criminal Minds. I'm great at this. Just kidding. Not about watching Criminal Minds, but I'm not a profiler.
They need to make a Guess Who, but serial killer edition.
Yes. I would play that. That would be fun. That would be fun. You can make little trading cards. That's gruesome, but people would buy it.
We need to make this into a game now and make some money.
It would be a game. It can be like Hunt a Killer, but make it real serial killers.
Yep, this needs to become a thing now.
It does. Serial killer. Guess Who?
I think we're going to have to wrap this up because we're going to get cut off very quickly, probably.
Thank you for having me.